Well, good morning, real estate fans. Alice Lima here, broker John L. Scott, Southern Oregon Real Estate, here with our latest podcast. Just so many exciting things to talk about. And to top it off, we're in the middle of December, so it's a very interesting year that we've had. Last year, in 2018, in Southern Oregon, we sold 6,039 properties. That's residential units. We'll do a different podcast on commercial because it's a completely different market. But in Southern Oregon last year, we sold 639 properties in the residential market. So guess what? Here we are in the middle of December, and as of this morning, we have sold in 2019 6,038. So sometime today we're going to cross that threshold. In fact, it probably just happened while I was talking. So that's a very interesting number. It tells me that our year, even though we've had a lot of fits and starts, especially the beginning of the year, we had a high inventory situation. The market was slowing down. The days on market were getting longer, and our neighborhood prices were stabilizing or even going down in some cases. So just to point out that even though we had a lot of up and down during 2019, it's starting to look like we're going to end up with a positive. We're going to have a little bit of an appreciation. I'm going to predict in that 3 to 5% by year end, but it's not dramatically different. So what that tells us is that if you are selling and you're not in escrow right now, like we've been saying all along, you need to really look at what your property feedback is and look at your price, because we actually have a shortage again. Here in December, we've gone from having an equal inventory or higher inventory to now we're in a shortage again. And the buyers are still out there, because even though some sellers feel that we're seasonal here in Southern Oregon and that there's a lull in the fall and winter, the buyers do not have a season. They're still out there. They're out there in force. If you look at the number of key box openings, that's one of the things we track to try to determine what kind of a market we're having. If you look at that in Southern Oregon, we still have more key boxes, more homes being shown year to date than last year. So the buyers are out there. A lot of that is fueled by the low interest rates. Again, going back to the beginning of the year, I don't know if you remember, but we were closing loans at 5.2, 5.5, and now we're closing them at 3.2, 3.5, 3.7. We're getting some non-owner occupied investment people closing at 4% if they have good credit. So the interest rate is really driving a lot of this, and it's allowing people to buy bigger properties. And if you can put your house on the market right now, you'll actually have a wonderful situation where you have more buyers than sellers, and you won't be competing with a lot of your neighbors come May, June, which is when a lot of people go on the market. So keep that in mind. Again, just to show kind of our stabilizing situation here, last year in 2018, Southern Oregon real estate, hold on to your hat, was a $1.8 billion industry. It's just so hard to fathom that our little valley creates that much revenue in the housing industry, but 1.8, and then today, year to date, we're at 1.9. So very interesting numbers. We'll see how we fare at the final December 31st. In the meantime, nationally, we're having a lot more buyers out there looking at houses. In fact, the West in general has an 8% increase in the buyer activity. That means year to date from this time last year, we have 8% more buyers just in the West Coast looking for property than we did last year. So again, it's a wonderful time to get your property on the market. I know it seems like a drag to do this in the winter, but check it out. If you're already decorated for Christmas, the relatives are coming, so the house is already clean. It wouldn't be that much extra work if you were selling to go ahead and have it on the market. You could probably get into escrow before the holidays, and then you've got 30, 45 days to finish up the holidays and pack. So it's really not out of the question. Yes, it does rain. Yes, it might be cold, but again, you might have a much better profit margin right now than you will in the spring. So just wanted to make that pitch. If you're thinking about selling, this might be the time to do it. So our predictions for next year, 2020, well, we've got some interesting elements. We have an election year coming that is making some people nervous. We don't really know what's going to happen with the interest rates, although the prediction is they're going to stay low. But, you know, the feds do whatever the feds want to do when the feds want to do it. So I wouldn't bet the farm on that. If you're thinking of buying in the next 8 to 12 months, you might want to just go ahead and get it done now, even though, again, the inventory is a little low. When we do find something, you're probably going to get a really good deal because the prices are down as well. We've just come off of that 18-month or 24-month kind of correction that we have every 9 to 11 years. Is perfectly normal. So we're going to be flattening out. We don't know how long the flat out will be, but I guess a lot of that depends on our world events and also our local economy. Our new industry, hemp, is bringing in some more jobs, but it's also causing some conflicts. It's causing some economic hardship for some people that didn't harvest in time, didn't harvest correctly, couldn't find the farm help to do the harvest. Plus, it's a new industry. There's no real business model to follow with hemp, so it's really just kind of learn and go and make mistakes for those folks that are sticking their toe in that new industry. But I predict that hemp will be a big moneymaker for Southern Oregon once we iron out the learning curve and get some predictability in the workforce and in the product and in the processing. So look for 2020 to have some big updates on that. Well, that's our podcast for today. Give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980. We're going to be in touch with all of the folks that we can in the next few months. Get your properties updated. Make sure you understand how much equity you have or don't have. If you're looking to redo any of your portfolio, especially if you're an investor or you want to be an investor, we really need to have some long chats about the pluses and minuses of that whole business because of the new rent control laws. Okay, so this is Alice Lima, broker John L. Scott, Southern Oregon Real Estate. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you again next week. Bye now.